We are live. Thank you everybody for coming today. Let's see who we got in the room. Good stuff, good stuff. People are coming on in. We already got a few questions here. All right. Welcome everybody. I want to show you what's happening in the stock market in a bit. While I wait for everybody to get in the room, I'll just answer a couple questions. Hi there. Top show, top financial channel. Thank you, everybody. Hello. What's up? Yellen said if the government defaults will destroy most people's lives. I think their lives will be destroyed, but the government never defaults. The U.S. government has its hands in almost all aspects of the economy. So they can, in fact, default in a different way, essentially paying back in confetti. So if they were to hyperinflate their currency, others would say, well, why am I going to accept this currency? I'm going to choose another currency. The thing that keeps them intact is the fact that everybody's doing the same thing. All right. Getting some money GPS in before I rave. That's always good. Get business first. You know how it works. Hyperinflation, baby. We're all riding this coaster to the stars. Looks like it. How safe are bond ETFs? I would say reasonably similar to the bonds themselves. And that's not necessarily a good thing, right? All right. Yo. Hey. South Carolina. We come here for the truth. Let's get it. Good stuff. Central Florida. All right. Never say never. Why the title? The stock market will never crash. That's right. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. So stay with me. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you coming on in. Yeah, smash that like button. It's stock market will never crash. Should I sell my metal and buy stock? Gary, we'll talk about that in a moment. That's the topic of today. First year gardening. Awesome. Eric, great job. Great job. I don't know if you saw that post that I made. I put it on the community section of the channel. I put it on Twitter and Instagram and everywhere else. There's a website called, now I forgot that website. Let me do this. I just forgot that website even though I just put it up today. Hold on 1 second here. Fallingfruit.org. Fallingfruit.org. It is a place where you can see people that have actually put all of the fruit trees in their area, and people plot this on a map. So you can go out there and forage for fruit. Some areas are not going to have much, and other areas are going to have much more, but it's just a cool resource. I think it's fantastic. Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your support of my work. What are your thoughts on Forex trading? So I think the most money in Forex trading is made by those people selling courses and stuff. So in my opinion, I would stay away from most of that. I would find somebody very reputable to learn from. I'm talking about reputable, okay? Not from an Instagram ad or a YouTube ad or what have you. Forex trading is a little bit different than stock trading. It's my opinion. This is my opinion. I would rather be buying stocks than be buying into the Forex. But some people have their preference. They like Forex. This is what they do. They have their particular trade in anything, whether it's Forex, whether it's swing trading, day trading, whatever it is. You have to find a few setups that work for you. When you meet these criteria, you take this action, you sell at this level. Those are the things that you can repeat over and over and over again, and hopefully you're able to win very nicely most of the time, and sometimes you lose, but you cut your losses quickly. Fundamentally, it's the same thing with Forex and stocks and bonds and what have you. I personally just like the stocks because there can be wild fluctuations within the Forex that are, I would not necessarily unexplainable, but it makes it a little bit more tricky. With the stock market, they've got high volumes, they've got reasonable amount of indicators where you can find a little bit more stability and predictability. What you want to do with any trading is increase probabilities. And when you increase the probabilities, you're going to do better over the long term if you stick to your plan. So that's all I say. But if you can get into Forex, if you're interested in learning about Forex, great, do that. Okay, it's all up to you and what you think is best. But I just think that for most people, they're going to find more success with stocks. I hope that answers your question. If you have any follow-ups, please put it in there and I'll try to make sure to get to your question first. All right. Tons of questions here. Bitcoin. Check out, do a search for the crypto GPS. Crypto. Eric wants some crypto. Fools think the stock market can continue improving because of central banks. That's the belief. That's the belief. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. We have 144 people in the room. Some people have already left. First year gardening and raising a hen too. Jose, good stuff. How do we preserve our wealth other than precious metals? Invest in agricultural companies. If you really want to preserve your wealth, you need to have a multitude of different assets. You can have this, precious metals is obviously historically the best way that people have done this. You can invest in real estate. Multi-family real estate is one, because you know that this is something, if it's in a good area, if it's where jobs are moving, if you see the demand being high and the vacancies being low, multi-family real estate can also do that for you. If you have a business, that business can be structured very nicely and could make you money over time and have the ability to protect you from downfalls and so on, protect your assets. You have less liabilities and so on. So there's a bunch of different things. What do you think will happen with the debt ceiling? How long can this get kicked down the road? I think they'll just lift the debt ceiling and there won't be any problems related to that. Just push it. For the time being, there's no problem. What they say anyway. The bankers have been caught red-handed. They have. We know that. Hi, David. When we do a video about the housing market? I definitely will, Tim. Stay tuned. I mean, I do touch on it in videos here and there, certainly. It's just extremely, extremely bullish at this time. And there hasn't been a change in that. So I haven't really found the need to devote an entire video about it, but I do include information. All right. If the stock market pays you in confetti, that's the same thing as it crashing. Yeah, like look at Venezuela, right, as a perfect example. Home prices in Southwest Florida, Tampa, Naples are skyrocketing based on supply and demand in the Northeast, where many are leaving and experiencing increased values. Yeah, so in general, Florida has been doing very well. But I mean, look at areas. There are so many small cities that are, in my opinion, not desirable, not just in Florida, all over the place, that are going crazy. Why? Because people are leaving the big cities. They're allowed to work from home. They're going to the smaller places and they're buying those up. You also have speculation. You have these investors coming in. You've got the big financial companies that are buying up huge swaths of real estate, anything that they can get, entire neighborhoods and so on. Okay, I just want to cover something here before we go on, but there's so many questions as usual. This is great. I'm bullish on inflation and bearish on deflation. However, in the event of deflation, will the fiat dollars retain its current value? In the event of the deflation, you assume that the cash is going to do well, but we never really know. Debt ceiling, yeah, it's just going to get raised again. They always at the very last minute, they hurry up, hurry, and then they do it. Actually, usually, has to be extended. So they give like a temporarily, we're just going to allow them, them to agree for 2 weeks and so on. David answers questions very well. Thank you. DQ, the stock market has crashed before, 1929 to 1997, so the market has crashed before. You will eventually happen again. Anyway, DQ, how are you? So they saying an upside down and inside world. Yes. So, of course, there's going to be future crashes. We know that. It's kind of just silly how people say, no, there's no more crashes. The Fed, now, like as if the Fed is some new technology. They finally figured it out. All you got to do is print money and keep interest rates low, and the markets won't crash. That's what happens when you get a lot of new people into anything, really, into the stock market, into anything, because they're just completely, they don't know, they don't understand it, right? Hello. Thank you for coming back again. U.S. government is now a puppet show. Thanks for your work. Appreciate you coming on in. There is no debt ceiling because it always rises. Yeah, basically, it's a fictional debt ceiling. That's for sure. Okay, quickly, let me just show you everybody. Okay, I'm just gonna do this screen share, and I'm gonna bring this up. It should be up on your screen right now. I just want to talk about this briefly. We're gonna look at this, and then we're gonna move on back to the questions. Okay, because the topic of today is the stock market will never crash, and of course, that's not a fact, but I want to show you in the shorter term. I want you to know as an investor, as somebody who's putting their money in, what is really going on here. This is the S&P 500. I pulled this chart back to, where are we here? The 5th of April. Okay, so you're seeing 5th of April, and what happened? The stock market is bullish. It's over the 20-day and the 50-day moving average. Those are the two lines. Then we have this breakdown here. Breakdown is around May 6th, 7th, 8th, I should say. The 10th, when it opened up on the Monday. So then you have this breaking down. What happened here? It found support at the 50-day moving average. It then goes above that. And then you have that same kind of thing. It has a breakdown. A few weeks later, it supports on the 50-day moving average, bounces back up. And again, 50-day moving average. This is really important, okay, because it's finding support along these lines. And I think that people should be aware of this, how to trade it in the short term. I am not telling you what to do with your money. I'm not telling you should buy stocks. I'm not telling you should sell stocks. I get people commenting every single day saying they missed out. They missed out, and it's my fault. It's my fault. I've got so much information, so much detail about all of the things that make up the stock market and what to look at. I've done videos showing you the technical analysis. I have PDFs. I've got everything. I talk about it in my book about the benefits of having all the asset classes, including paper assets. And still every single day I get people saying, I've been listening to you for years and now I hate your guts. It's nonsense. It's complete nonsense. I'm giving you everything. If you want more, all you got to do is ask. There is no single YouTuber that I'm aware of that is more inviting to the subscribers than myself. I have made myself available commenting literally for 10 years on this channel, replying to each and every one. That's not a bot. That's not somebody I hired. That's me. Look at the details here. Look at the actual technicals. When it moved into this area here, when I told you there was a sell signal coming over here, if you wanted a short trade for a day or two, that was available to you. I brought that information. I don't know if anybody wants to take advantage of it. I don't even know if anybody cares about this stuff, but I just want to bring it to you when I can. Look in the example of the NASDAQ. You could see found support right around that 20-day moving average and bounced back up. Very, very seldom does it actually fall below its 50-day moving average. It did it back in May, and now it's pumping up. You look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is looking a little bit more bullish now. I want to see it move above this area here. I want to know that this over the 50-day moving average, I want to see it go above that. So if it goes into that 35,000 territory, suddenly Bitcoin looks more attractive. Maybe this is another leg up. However, some people say 12,000 is the next way to go. I don't really know. You look at what's happening with inflation and so on, and it starts to just show you with the commodities how serious this is, because people aren't aware of the similarities, the parallels to the 1970s in some ways. And you could see oil at $72 a barrel. Okay, $72 a barrel. Pretty serious stuff here, because to get to 100, not that far down the road, it seems. All right. That's enough. That's enough stock stuff, okay? Unless you want more. Thank you very much, Darius, for your support. Money GPS, do you know any good books or articles on speculation? Which investments do you feel are best equipped for our modern economy? All right. So books. If I'm going to talk to somebody in general, if you don't want to know about the history and so on, if you just want two very good generalized books, I would read Tony Robbins' Money Master the Game, because he basically interviews Ray Dalio, Paul Tudor Jones, all the big boys, interviews them and gets their ideas. Okay, so Money Master the Game, you read that one. You read Ray Dalio's Principles. So you got that. And it gives you kind of like a general sense of what to do and how to be a prudent investor. Remember, these are just two very simple ones. Then I would look like, see, I love the history. I love to know that because you see those parallels and it starts to make sense when you see them again, when you see patterns. That's just the way I look at it, but it's totally up to you. And so those are the two I would start with. I know there was another question in there. Which investors' investments do you feel are equipped for a modern economy? So, okay, so this is me. I'm not telling anybody what to do. You have to have two different portfolios. You got to have a swing trading portfolio and you got to have a long-term portfolio. This is for paper assets, for people who are interested. You do swing trading here, you do long-term investing here. The swing trading is up or down. You should not want the market to go up. Okay, you should trade based on what happens. If it goes up, if it goes down, you shouldn't care. That's the way it is. But people, they invest on leverage and margin. And that's when I see the comments and they're really scared. And that just tells you how far they've gone into this. You should not care whether the market goes up. Even, in fact, you should make way more money on the way down than up. If not, you did it wrong. I hope that answers your question. Thank you for the support. Jason, thank you for the support. Yes, appreciate you. Keep on rolling like you do. Thank you, Jason. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I got, despite all the nonsense in the comments and the terrible things I have to deal with every day, literally the only reason I still do this channel, literally, I'm telling you right now, is because of the positive comments. I would have stopped a long time ago. So, thank you. I'm saying thank you from the bottom of my heart. Okay, so we've got some serious questions in here. Thank you. All right, there's no debt ceiling that always rises. I read this one. Reverse repos. What does it mean for our savings at commercial banks if there's too much cash and not enough pristine collateral? How can cash in the bank sustain? I wouldn't worry too much because it moves in and moves out. It's a one-day thing usually. I wish YouTube and rally governments weren't restricting what he's allowed to. Yes, I agree with that as well. The stock market history will repeat. The market is going to get annihilated. Eventually that will happen, and the higher it goes up, the more devastating it will be on the way down. Glad you stream. Glad to be here, of course. All right. 1929 stock crash. The dollar was not a pure fiat like today, comparing apples to oranges. Different situation. I agree. To trade stocks successfully, one must learn the harmonic patterns using Fibonacci's numbers. So what I would say to that is you have to choose one way. You got to know your setup. You have to have these set of things that you're looking at, and you do that. You can't do Fibonacci and then you're you're day trading and then oh no, that didn't work out, that day trade. So, I'll just hold the stock. And now I'm a long-term investor. No. You got to pick it, you got to know, and you got to do it right. You got to cut your losses. The amateur investors do not know how to cut their losses. All right. More. I know what inflation looks like, but what are some examples of deflation? In the late 1800s, there was a good example of that. I read about that in a few books. I am working on a CBDC AMA. All right. Subscribe to your new channel. Wish you success. Thank you. Do you think we will see a drop in metals in the short term, specifically silver? Anything is possible. I mean, it hasn't really done that well, so the downward pressure might not be so good. Are we talking about in the short term? I could look at that really quickly, guys. Let's take a look at this really quickly, okay? Let's see. Hope you can see this. I have gold already up here. It's not looking, I'll tell you right now, it's not looking very strong as far as I'm concerned. It's below its 20 and 50-day moving average. It's broken down up from this point here. I wouldn't buy in at this point if I was trading it. It's not looking good. It's, the RSI is under 50, but so to be clear, when I talk about precious metals, though, like if I'm going to invest in precious metals, I don't really care so much about the price. I know that I've talked about this before. It's kind of like a little bit of ignorance, intentional ignorance on it, but it's up to you what you do. I look at it and I just think it's a very, very long-term investment, and in that you would actually never sell. That's the way I see it. I had a super chat in here, I think. Was there not another super chat? Hope I didn't. Oh, there we go. Darius, thank you again. Thank you again for your support. I also like the history of economics, Paul Volcker and Reagan in the oil crisis, stagflation in international rates, asset bubbles propped up by QE and negative rates. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of examples and things that we can learn from in history, and I think it's important that we do so that we don't repeat our mistakes. I think that's what I'll say. Hope that's good for you. All right, Anthony, thank you very much for the support. It's not a crash in stocks that's the play, GPS. Look at all the experts in the financial media who have been slaughtered trying to predict a top. It's volatility that's going to explode by that. So Anthony, I don't know if you were in here maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes ago. I covered into what we're seeing, and I basically, the long and short of it is what I said is that these crashes have happened before. The Federal Reserve was always there. They're always printing money. They're manipulating everything. They decide when it will fall. It's not because they stop printing money that it will fall. Let's be clear about that. It falls for a different reason, and then they decide what to do with it. Also what I said was, you might have to go back and check it out. Basically what I said was you should have two different portfolios. You should have a swing trading portfolio, and if you're a paper investor, you should have a swing trading portfolio and you should have a long-term portfolio. They should be treated very, very differently. If the stock market goes down, you should love it. You should love it. You got to love it. You don't got to like it. You don't got to deal with it. You should love it. Hope that answers your question or comment, I should say. Thank you. Thank you for the support. I come here for the truth. Absolutely. Ignore the stock market. Watch only the bond market. Yeah, I mean, the bond market is bigger. The bond market is more powerful. But I think at the same time, we need to understand that they're very manipulated. Both of them are very manipulated. A minimum wage Tim Hortons employee could afford to buy a condo in Edmonton right now, and the market is still dead. Yeah, it's crazy. Some areas really have been hit hard. Hi, question, David. When will you do a bit of video about the housing market? Did I already answer this one? I will be doing a video about the market. Watch the VIX. Yes, definitely. It might pop, actually, in the near future. Never mind the projections of self-loathing haters. Yes, I know. I do get caught up in it. You do good work, it's not your fault. So will interest rates ever rise again? Yes, they will. If inflation picks up to a degree, they will have to. There is no choice. I have a question. Mario, please ask your question. I'm a fan of privacy-based cryptocurrency for economic freedom, security, privacy, and independence from government, but certainly not for investing. Yeah, there are some good ones out there that are supposedly looking strong in the future, but as of right now, things are still in their infancies. Is there any after apocalypse scenario? It depends how bad things get. It depends how it all unravels. We really don't know, right? That's the thing. All right. I read that Tony Robbins book. Yeah, it was a good book. I mean, it's the general investor. You're not going to get into the details. It's not going to tell you about the Federal Reserve and so on, but it's just good to know. Was watching you over on Liberty and Finance. Oh, thank you for watching that. I didn't check that out. But I guess they posted it. Sorry, 1 second here. All right. Let's see what we got. I've read most of Principles. Yeah, it's an interesting book. The housing market. Tim, I already did the one about the housing market. I already answered that one. Thanks for bringing interesting content about the whacked economy. Yeah, that's for sure. Thank you for your honest and helpful answer. Long live GPS. Thank you. Cash is trash. I completely agree with that. There is a time and place for cash, but in general, I wouldn't want to actually put my money into cash. It's crazy. Raise the debt ceiling equals load more paper into the printers. You know how it works. Foreign countries must raise prices and demand payment in gold instead of dollars. Yeah, you never know. It might happen. Yeah, so there are people out there that give financial advice. I don't do that. So yeah, if somebody wants to do that, by all means, please do. Car dealer lots are empty. 6 months ago, every lot had 800 cars. Yeah, it's insane to see actually, if you look at it, early 2020, or late 2019, there were so many cars, they were everywhere. How are we ever going to sell these? And suddenly there's a shortage. Strange. For crypto, check out the Crypto GPS. You get your answer. What threat does a commercial paper default in China have for crypto, given the Tether interview recently? I'm not sure specifically about Tether and so on. You know, I think there's so much speculation that's going on that real, true fundamentals actually matter less, which is strange. Hit the thumbs up, people. Yes, do so, please. What's up, GPS? You're the man, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming on. Ignore the negativity. You do good work. I appreciate that. No problem, David. I think I got cut off there. Thank you for all the research. Been a long-term watcher. Thank you. Mad Max scenario is looking more factual every day. I mean, you never know. Apocalypse means complete destruction of the world. There is no after the apocalypse. Yeah, I mean, it all depends on your interpretation, I guess. I think real estate investments are no longer sound investments. I don't think BlackRock pension funds like competition. Also, the government is heavily regulated in the housing market. But I wouldn't worry about that. I mean, if you always worry about the regulation and so on, we'd never be able to get into any asset. So the way I just think of it is look at the benefits that you could get. And if something were to change, I mean, you could sell, but I don't think you ever have to. I really don't. I think if you buy in the right area, I think you're going to be doing well when the price is right, when it cash flows from day one. There are many different reasons. Look, every asset, no matter what it is, has a downside. Thank you again for your support. Much appreciated. Were you a finance student in college or just self-taught from finance and economics books? Also, do you prefer Chicago or Austrian School of Economics? So, like, I always, when I started, it was Austrian. I was reading into Marianne Rothbard and Hayek and all these groups, more so in the Austrian side. And I found that to be the best. If you look at it, your typical Econ 101, it's just nonsense. It's worthless. It provides no value. So I think that for me, I started reading all those type of books, and that sort of set that trajectory of learning. And it's been 15 years 14 years or 15 years since the beginning. So, you know, I can recommend all the books that I've read. I can recommend all of the different things I've learned. Ultimately, these type of things don't make you money. That's the thing, right? So it's all about how can you make money, and it's when you take action. You make more money by, in my opinion, you know, those who take the time to learn about a skill, to actually have a particular skill, they make more money. If you want to learn about the history, that's just a fascination for me. So, all right. We love stock market crashes. Yes. So it's don't fight the Fed again. Well, that's up to you. Oh, I think I missed this one. How do you feel about investing in watches? Yeah, so like something, for example, like a Rolex, it goes up every single year, as far as I'm aware. And, you know, you look at like Tiffany jewelry and all these certain brand names, they have like a schedule for increasing their prices. So that's the way it is. So you can kind of like predict what the value will be in 5-10 years. And there hasn't been any slowdowns generally in the luxury market. It's done very, very well. It's very resilient. Yeah, you could have a financial crisis, depression, and so on, where it takes a hit at that point. But yeah, I would say that this is something that you need to be aware of. Over a long period of time, they're probably going to do very well. I wouldn't prefer jewelry or watches or any of these different things over you know, an asset. If you're going to pay $15,000 for a Rolex, you probably could do better elsewhere. But hey, if it's going to increase by 5% a year, some would say that that's a good buy, right? There was another super chat down here. Hope I didn't miss it. Oh, there we go. Edward, thank you very much for your support. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. We are 30 minutes in. My goodness. For anyone who didn't see those posts that I made, Money GPS is the man. For anybody who didn't see those posts I made on Instagram and Twitter and all this, check it out. It's called Falling. Oh, now I forgot it again. Falling Fruit. I always forget the name of it. Let me check. Fallingfruit.org. Very cool website. I mean, I had known about it for a long time, but I kind of slipped in my memory. And so it's fallingfruit.org, and it shows you all the different fruit trees that are around your area. It's pretty cool. People input them on their own, and then you basically like crowdsource that knowledge, and you could get, you know, berries and apple. I've seen oranges and lemons and all kinds of things. It's amazing. It's such an amazing resource, and it's free. The Federal Reserve is the true enemy of the world. I completely agree with you. People don't want to hear that. And I don't know. Maybe I should stop talking about that. Maybe I should just talk about being bullish on the stock market. Like if I want to grow the channel, that's all I got to do is just call out the ticker symbols. This channel would be at over 1 million subscribers, no problem. Warren Buffett was saying that crypto was not a real asset because it's not a physical thing. Yeah, I mean, that's his opinion, right? Will the market cease to exist? No, I don't think so. I mean, you could have shutdowns, the market can close down for a period of time, you could have bank holidays, you could have restrictions here and there, but I don't think that it will necessarily cease to exist. There'll always be something there. Should I sell my 7 shares of Amazon now? Well, I mean, you're already a billionaire, so I mean, that's up to you. You have 7 shares of Amazon, you're a billionaire. Peter Schiff has too many complaints and no solutions. I should do like if I could interview him, I would. All right, so many questions, and I went down, and now I can't. I don't know where I'm sorry. I'm sure I missed so many. Good job, David. Please always turn to the script button on because English is my second language. It is helpful. Turn the script button. So I'm not sure exactly what you mean. If you're talking about the subtitles. So subtitles on, I want to answer this for anybody that's in here who's not aware. So subtitles are on by default, but the YouTube algorithm or whatever, sometimes it doesn't pick it up. Sometimes it just doesn't put those subtitles on. And so there's no way for me to control it. I can manually add and put subtitles on, but that will require me to actually type out all the subtitles or hire somebody to do that and then input them. I just don't have the resources. The channel is just going down. The income is just down. So thank you, Wade, for the support. I really appreciate it. That's too bad all governments fall for Keynesian economics. That has only taught us Austrian economics for the win. Bitcoin Standard is a great book. Okay. Never read that. Yeah, but I agree with you that, you know, if they had a little bit more responsibility to the people in every way, in their liberties and so on, then things would be a lot better. But, you know, today I think people aren't really caring about that. They feel very good because their house has gone up in value, their stocks, their 401ks, their RSPs, their supers, depending on where they live, retirement accounts have done better. So they feel good. They are willing to accept, you know, certain things happening to them. If that changes, if their net worth is suddenly 50% of what it was, maybe they get in a little margin call, maybe they've got a problem to deal with, things will change. Things will change. What is your personal definition of money? A medium of exchange. That's it. I don't even believe that it needs to be a store of value. I have it like, I just simplify everything. Whenever I look at anything, I break it down to the common denominator. I always do that. That's just in my head. Like, what is this? What is it? I want to get, if you can't explain what you want to say in one sentence or 2 sentences, it's it. It's over. You can't convince me on it. That's why there's certain people that, you know, they have opinions and so on. I hear them just talking. And they get to the end of the video and I've got nothing. I've learned nothing. They've taught me nothing. You have to break it down simply. Sometimes I do it so simply that people say, what are you talking about? No, this can't be. You have to be able to just say it how it is. How can we contact you directly? If anybody wants to contact me directly, if you join up to the insiders, and let me put that banner up right here. If you sign up to the insiders, where are we there? There we go. moneyGPS.com. You will be able to contact me directly. You just reply to that. Stop spamming, bro. Why are you ignoring question? What? Like what question? How can we contact? Oh, the spam? Is that what you're saying? So was I supposed? I don't understand. What I'm ignoring. What is happening? I am a saver. What should I do? Yeah, if you're trying to save some money, of course you got to be able to make an additional income as well. What I would suggest is that you go to my playlists on my channel. I have it one after the other. I got a free Amazon course that people charge $1,000 for. I've got how to make money. I've got how to and solutions. I've got how to fix the economy. I've got all kinds of stuff. Do subtitles with text to speech by putting the audio on your speaker and pressing text to speech button on the notes app on your phone. Okay. Peter Shep has a chip on his shoulder for the way his father was treated. Feel bad for him. Yeah, I don't know about his personal situation, but Edward, can you make an audio book version of your books? Thank you very much for the support. So I have an audiobook version of Global Economic Collapse. I could not do one. I started to do one for the Money GPS, but could not continue because there's so many charts and diagrams and so on. It got so out of whack. Now I took the actual audiobook link off of my website for Global Economic Collapse, but if you email me directly, I can send that link to you. And again, thank you for the support. Do you play any games, Xbox or PS5? So I had the last one I had was the original Xbox. The original Xbox, I had that, and I played that a little bit. I just never played after that. I couldn't find it. I don't find like TV and video games interesting enough. Doesn't hold my attention. If gold is not worth anything, why is it the banks are hoarding? Yeah, that's the good question. Why do the central banks that have unlimited printing press buy gold? Makes no sense at all, right? Unless they feel that it's worth having. Okay. Do you believe the housing market has peaked? I'm priced out, currently waiting on the sidelines as a first-time home buyer. So if you're doing this for yourself, this is going to be the place that you're living in, then ultimately it matters less than if you're doing it for investment purposes. Don't ever, in my opinion, don't ever buy a house, personal residence for, you got to think of it totally different. It's not an investment. Your personal residence is a liability, no matter what anybody tells you. Okay, and then you could say, well, I'm sitting on the sidelines, should I just wait? Well, that's what people have done over the last year, and they've lost. Again, prices went up 20%, prices went up 30%, and so on. So I think that you got to watch out very clearly. That's difficult. Okay. What else can I say? Interest rates are really low right now, so that you could take advantage of that. This is very clear. You want to get if you're going to do it, you're going to get a long-term fixed rate mortgage as long as you can get. In terms of has it peaked, I can't predict the future. Right now, I say it can either go sideways or go up. If interest rates increase, I believe the likelihood of it going down increases rapidly. We are going to a Bitcoin crypto standard. I don't think so personally, but hey, anything is possible. Does an increasing trend in van life and alternative ways of living signal overvalue in real estate? Yes, I do believe that. And you look at all the tiny homes, extremely popular tiny homes. And why? It's not because, I want to live with less. It's because a big house costs a heck of a lot of money. People don't have that money. Now, somebody might say, well, I don't want the possessions and so on. But I think it just makes a lot of sense when you see people are condensing down to a very, very small size. They're priced out, and so they say, you know what, this will be good too. So they do this thing, but it's not sustainable. If you look at people who have lived in the tiny homes and so on for long periods of time, very few people can sustain it for years. Would you refinance your primary residence if it was paid for, like a cash out refinance, if that's what you're talking about? I would rather do that on an investment property personally. But I understand why people want to do that because it's cash. Like, this is the thing. Like, I always say, like, your primary residence is a liability. It's not an asset, right? It's just sucking money from you. What should savers do? So savers, like, are you saying you don't want to take a risk? Is that what you're suggesting? Savers? I mean, I don't know how to answer that question, to be honest with you. You got to have multiple streams of income regardless. Like the situation, break it down to its most common denominator. What are you trying to do? You're trying to have money for when you retire and you're no longer making income, right? You should have an asset that's going to pay you during this period of time. You should save your money, not in cash, but in assets. Assets that either keep the value of your money or they pay you passive income. Look at this. Passive is massive. Passive is massive. Okay? Are you going to buy Halo Infinite? I don't know what that is. Halo the game? Halo the game? I had the original Halo. I think I played that. Top 5 best physical assets to hedge inflation. Gold, silver, real estate. 3. I love a mind as manic as mine. Totally a compliment. Awesome. Excellent work. Okay. We'll trying to go through this. So what will you use for a medium of exchange? I'm hoping something that is like some sort of method. I mean, it depends, right? I want everything. Basically, I want competition. I want there to be cash, but I want to be able to decide. Like my hope is one day that, and this is never going to happen, that there will be actually allowed to have competing currencies. That would be fantastic. And we let the market decide. Let the market decide. Why do you have to, if you're in the US, legal tender is the US dollar. But what if I wanted to use, I don't know, blocks of cheese? If my employee says, I want to get paid in cheese, I should be able to pay him in cheese, but I can't do that, right? I can't. I got to use US dollar. If I want to pay my taxes, I can't pay in cheese. I got to pay in US dollar. Like that's the thing, right? Like you got to allow the market to decide what it wants. But that's not how they do it for obvious reasons. Totally agree with Warren Buffett regarding cryptos. Keynesians spend the world, Austrians rebuild it. Everyone who can buy 100 ounce in and off the comics should take a delivery even when it's out of the money. Comics will dry up quickly. Yeah, we know that's a lot of fraud going on. There's no way. No way they can deny that. Oh my goodness, there's so many questions here. How can I even get to all these? My goodness. Really? Oh my goodness. Okay. Jeez. Okay. You can't have different methods of exchange because then it becomes a barter economy. No, you didn't understand what I said. Take the time to learn. The price manipulation of real estate makes 0 sense. All it is stamping up hyperinflated assets with the ability to make any income. Renters are broke. Consumers are destitute. It depends. Like, are you making income on that property? Some people are, despite inflated prices, right? Depends. Physical and digital need to coexist to keep our way of life. Vehicles, precious metals, skilled labor, the best to go into a barter economy. The dollar is law. A key ingredient for a scam to work. That's right. Government will always decide what currency is used for taxes. Yep, unfortunately, that's true. I like the cheese. Give me that cheddar. Do you think a farm is a good idea nowadays or in the near future? I always think that's the case. Yes, 100%. Do you watch Minority Mindset YouTube channel? Somebody recommended him or something, so I clicked on one of his videos just to see what it was for a few seconds. Looks interesting. Looks like he's got a great big following. Channel growth far surpassed mine. I've thought about doing videos kind of like that, like whiteboard type stuff. In fact, do you guys want to see whiteboard stuff? Towards the end of the year, I might do stuff like that. Go away bricks, we want kittens. Yes, I did. I did the kittens yesterday and I got 2 complaints about it. So I didn't bring them back. People said don't one person said don't do the kittens or I will unsubscribe. And another person said don't what was it? Yeah, don't make jokes on your videos. Basically. Hi from Canada. Thank you for coming on in. Crypto and silver. Best assets to hold in case of a deflation. So there's actually arguments for why you would want to hold gold in a deflation. Cash could be a good investment as well. But generally, like if you want to just be general about it, you have to look at what is undervalued at the time. You gotta look at what's undervalued at the time and get into that. I think that's important. So much for manipulation in the stock market. They will not save the middle class. Dow Jones Ponzi scheme have no real fundamentals in the dollars, a little more than pixelated dust. I can't argue with that. What will happen to growth stocks? Well, generally what happens is the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Cryptos are good for remote transactions. Yeah, I agree with that. Like if anybody sends money overseas, it's brutal. It's brutal. It takes so long generally, and the fees are brutal. So cryptocurrencies have that advantage. There's no doubt about it. Even something more expensive like a Bitcoin is way cheaper than sending money overseas. Not to mention the transaction, like the conversion fees if you're going to another currency. Okay. All right. Rita, thank you for your support. What is the safest way to transport gold within the USA? So you're like moving from one place to another? Is that kind of the idea that you're having there? I think that you can use a service that will move that for you if it's a large enough amount, or else you can do it yourself. There are services probably like Brinks or something that will move that for you securely and safely. I wouldn't worry too much about theft or anything like this. Rick, can I get this one to come up? Rick had a super chat, and I think I missed. There it is. Rick, thank you very much for your support, Rick. Bank of International Settlements deems gold tier 1 asset. Talk about the coming gold back IMF SDRs to facilitate the CBDCs, please. Seems obvious to me. So there's been a lot of talk about this, okay, about whole Basel III thing, that this is going to force these central all the banks and everything to have physical on-hand metals. You can't do the oh my god, I'll get that word eventually. But they can't basically lease it out. They have to have it physically there, present. Okay. The way I see Basel III is like dry clean only. What do you think about dry clean only? Do you have to do it? I mean, could you just put it and hang that up after? Could you just wash it by hand and hang it up? Do you really need to do dry clean only? Or maybe you could put it on in the cycle and so on. Okay. The point is that they don't have to do it. They don't have to do it. There's nobody that's going to be there to slap them on the wrist. And I don't think that there's going to be much of a push. Nobody cares about gold. And that's the unfortunate part. Like in the financial world, please don't get me wrong. In the financial world, analysts and investors and everything, they really hate gold. Even the Bank for International Settlements, same situation, okay? All the supranational entities, they do not like gold. Now the IMF and their gold back SDR is not going to be much of a gold backing, let me tell you, because the amount of money that's been pumped out there. But I would say in general, we could have an IMF SDR. And that could be taking over in the back end of the current financial system. But we need a crisis to unfold first. First the crisis, then comes the prepared solution. So stay tuned for that. Hope that answers your question, Rick. Oh, Nicholas, thank you very much for the support. Thanks for the show. I appreciate you coming on in. Excellent. In real dollar terms, gold is at 40-year lows. Yes, yes, yes. Fiat currency is toilet paper. It's actually not a very good toilet paper as far as I'm concerned. It's worse. It's actually worse than toilet paper. Toilet paper has a lot of value, actually. You can literally see whose wallet did what. Now in crypto, you just can't hide. It's true. It's for the most part, yeah. For the most part. How would you teach a newbie tech analysis? So I'm trying to like give a little bit of the technical analysis for people on this channel. I don't know if anybody's that interested. It seems like a very small group of people are interested. I would love to talk about that a little more. Thank you for the support. There is a channel, if you want to just go off of my work, go out of the Money GPS into another one, called Profit Market. Now, Profit Market is a good guy. I interviewed him on my channel not that long ago, and he gets into the technical analysis and has a very simple way of teaching it that I really, really like. So you can check him out. I'm thinking of getting out of silver. Well, I don't know how much your portfolio and so on, but what I would say is look at the percentages of each, right? Generic silver or silver coins, both, in my opinion. Gold, they call it a tier 1 reserve. The only tier 1 asset is their fiat currencies. They love those fiats. Rick, I don't know if you saw my response already. I know there is a delay in here. You can wash the dollars and reuse them, called money laundering. Any update on the Fed's plan to launch its own crypto? For now, they haven't done much, as far as I'm aware. What do you do to prepare? Check out my playlist called How to and Solutions. Good microcap companies future, none that I'm aware of. I don't give financial advice, though, to be honest with you. What is the ratio of dollars to 1 ounce of gold? Well, with the amount of money that they pumped into the system, it's one heck of a ratio. Thank you for the support. Love the channel, and you're willing to share knowledge. Top 3 favorite financial channels on YouTube. Never mind the trolls. Your work speaks for itself, is invaluable to me. Well, I really appreciate that. Thank you. It's a difficult one, I'll tell you. I'll be honest with you. You see the amount of people, like I got 68,000, I think, subscribers. And then when, my video yesterday does 8,000 views, you got to start questioning like, what's going on? What am I not doing? What am I doing too much of, and this and that? And you start to question it all. And, it's just unfortunate, but I'm just glad people show up in the positivity. Like I said earlier in the video, the positive comments have actually kept me on this channel. I would have been gone a long time ago. Edward, thank you very much. Yeah, the support email. Yeah, you can get on. I'm actually monitoring it right now and I don't see it. So I'm not sure if you've emailed already. But I'm talking about the insiders. So if you sign up to the insiders, as soon as you go to themoneygps.com, there's a prompt right there. You put in, and actually it's right here. If you see that, themoneygps.com, you sign up to the insiders, it will email you. So you just reply to those emails and I will get it. And then I'll reply to you from there. And thank you for the support, by the way. U.S. debt milestone. National debt has now reached $28 trillion, 226%. Yeah, it's unbelievable how much debt there is. It's just crazy. Your suggestion on constitutional silver ratio to fine. Constitutional silver ratio to fine? I'm not sure how to define like particular ratios and so on. Like I just think the whole monetary system is a fraud. Okay, I hope that maybe that's too simplified, but that's just the way I see it. All right. Gold 100K, silver 5K. There's been a lot of predictions. I'm not sure though. Shout out to David watching all the way from South Africa at 4 a.m. Awesome. Getting up early to get in that truth. Daily dose of the truth. All right. Oh my goodness. So many are coming through. What is the real estate market looking like in Vancouver? So I did a video, an interview with Steve Suretsky, maybe just like 2 weeks ago. Highly recommend checking it out because he actually gives the breakdown. Steve Suretsky, you could see that video A few weeks ago, I did. I think I've heard of him. I think I've heard of him, but I've never seen his program. All right. Market crash on Monday, maybe Tuesday. Watch. It's possible. The market is looking extremely weak, right? It's been rising, but in a weak way. So that's never good. It usually ends up in a correction, okay? Inflation, deflation, I talk about this many times. It's basically, the way I see it is that you have a natural deflationary pull that's been happening today, and it's basically, let's say, the crutch that we have, the stimulus and the QE is kind of keeping it up. Pretty confident YouTube is shadow banning your channel, sir. You're doing great work, but you could, yes. So I hear from people, thank you, by the way. I hear from people literally every single day, I was unsubscribed from your channel. I was unsubscribed from your channel. I was unsubscribed. And many days pass in any given month where I actually lose many subscribers in that given month. On those days, I look at the particular days, I'll lose 30 here, 50 here, 20 here, and then another day maybe it increases by 100 or 50 or 20, but that's what happens. And the fact that the way it works is called authority, and I have like a very low authority on YouTube and basically all the platforms, even TikTok. I was shadow banned from TikTok too. Totally different situation there, but they call it authority, and I was given lower authority for whatever reason, talked about the wrong things and so on. So because there's not enough people sharing that, so it doesn't go out. Like if you bring outside traffic in, the platform loves that, but people, they don't like to share the content. So therefore I stay with a low authority. So you can regain your authority back, but unfortunately that's just the way it is. And I understand. Thank you for the support again. YouTube does throttle channels that speak about the truth system. I've missed notifications for your channel before. Yeah. Stock and swing. Yeah, I would love to cover a little bit more. Like my intention here is every day I'm supposed to do half an hour, but now we're already at 1 hour. And start each video off with a little bit of technical analysis, looking at the markets and so on, at least the 5 days of the week. And that's kind of my hope. So I would give you an update on the markets itself during the live video. If anybody likes that, let me know in the comments, please. Bravo is a swing trader. All right. YouTube stops where you remain. Yeah, see? Like, YouTube manipulates the numbers. Don't lose sleep over it. Yeah, I know. Everybody, yes. Jeff, fantastic book. One of the best, actually. Odyssey Library, I am on. I am on there already. Odyssey. From macro to micro, what do you think is going to happen? Heavily shorted stocks. Yeah, so I think that I don't want to upset anybody. People are going to lose a lot of money. Okay. It's just the way it is. It's not your content, just people who don't want to think and face reality. Yeah, that's part of it too, for sure. People are more interested in just give me the ticker, bro. Give me the ticker, bro. And I get those comments too. So yeah, I know what you mean. Okay. Good book. Yes. What percentage would you suggest a position in physical gold? So I can't give you financial advice, but what I would say is Ray Dalio says in the all-weather portfolio, 7.5%. There are many other people who have said 10% as part of the portfolio. Even David Morgan, whose whole business revolves around silver, says you want it to be at 10%. So, that's the way you got to look at it. People do much more than that, obviously, but it really depends. I just think that not including it is probably unwise over the long term. Your videos used to play like a playlist years ago. I could fall asleep and you'd still be playing. Now it only shows the current video and never suggests you again after the video. Interesting, Justin. Interesting. I wonder what that's all about. I have your channel bookmarked to visit every day. I will catch and unsubscribe. All right. Let me know. Creature from Jekyll Island, must read. Completely agree. Fantastic book. is your money safe in the bank? So I think it's going to be like a multi-stage rollout. If it's bail-ins and so on, it's that uninsured accounts get hit first and then insured accounts. But the problem is they're going to do bank holidays. We know that. They've done it before. They've done it just recently in the past in certain countries. They'll do it again, okay? Bank holiday, they shut the banks down. If you read Ben Bernanke's famous speech from 2002, something like deflation, making sure it doesn't happen, he talks about historical examples of what they had done to make sure that deflation didn't happen. And that was devaluing the currency 40%. 40% devaluation, said it's fantastic. All right. Okay. I'm going to have to go very soon, everybody. Thank you very much for coming on. I'll just answer a couple more. So why won't the stock market crash? I just got here, Scott. Okay, so Scott, I talked about it earlier in the video. I covered a little bit of the analysis of the markets and so on. I think you should probably just, once this finishes, then check out the video. It will be on my channel. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually not going to leave it there indefinitely. I'm only going to leave it until I post the following day's video, because it's been negatively affecting my views considerably. So I'm just going to leave it up there for a few hours, like 8 hours or whatever. And then the next day it's going to be gone. So if you check it out right away after we finish, you'll get your answer to that. I went in depth. That's all. Monaco, British Virgin Islands, Cayman Islands, Bermuda, long-term places for economic freedom and a low to no tax. Yeah, I do agree. There's lots of different places like the ones you're mentioning, including Cayman Islands and so on. They are fantastic for many reasons. You know, there's pros and cons, certainly. Like, for example, the costs in many of these places are astronomical. But in general, yeah, they're great. They're fantastic. Right here, good example, right? Lebanon people can only take out $26 a month. Yep. But obviously devalued currency, different situation, but it still means they have capital controls. That's the point. Have a good evening. Thank you for truth. Absolutely. Will the new lockdown deal death blow to America? Yeah, I mean, well, it depends on how they roll it out, but it's horrible. Iron Maiden, thanks. Let's do it again. What's your opinion on vacation properties, i.e. cottage, buy or rent? Daniel, in most cases, like in terms of a investment, you don't want to buy your vacation property. You want to rent it. Unless you're going to be renting it out. Are you going to be renting it out when you're not there? In that case, could be a good thing. That's what I would say. Look up the bank bail-in. Yes, you want to look up Brisbane, Australia, G20. Great show. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Put them on Patreon. All of my videos are on Patreon. All the normal posts. Yeah. All right. Is inflation going to hit all countries? Yes, to one degree or another. Yes, that's the case. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate everybody coming on in. Thank you very much for your time today. We went on for over an hour, so this is long. I'm going to start working on the video of the day. Maybe I'm going to do something a little different today in this video, so you'll see that tomorrow morning. I want to thank everybody for your time again, and that's it. Take care. Janet Yellen out.